Welcome to this video. In this video, I would like to show and explain to you how you can maintain tables directly in the productive system without any transport in SAP ERP and SAP S/4HANA. Enjoy this video and let's get started. So by default, the production system is not modifiable and is not open for customizing. And because of this, you cannot do any modifications on the production system directly. For that purpose, you must use the SAP Transport tool. That means all customizing will be done in the development system and transported to the quality system and then into the production system. But often in business scenarios, there will be requirements which cannot be transported and which have to be modified directly in the respective tables and other repository objects in the production system. And for this purpose, you have to use the transaction code SOBJ to directly set really important settings for this table so that no transport is needed and that you will override or bypass the settings directly in the production system. And here I would like to show you the steps you have to do in order to open the changes directly in the production system for this specific table. So here we're right now seeing the table generator. Here we're right now seeing the transaction SM30 to make changes into this table. And here we're right now seeing the SOBJ, where you can set the setting to no transport and to bypass the current settings into the productive system. So first of all, we have to open up the ABAP dictionary. So it's the transaction SE11. And down here, you have to even create a new table or guarantee that there are specific settings to this table. So first of all, I would like to show you the settings. You can also create it and do it on your own. And here right now, I've set up a simple table that saves simple data called SAP ERP app. And in here you have to create a table maintenance view. And to this you have to go under utilities and then table maintenance generator. And here we're seeing that I have already created one. But basically here you have to specify your table. Here you have to use the authorization group. And in this case, I have used the AND sign, and then NC, and then once again the AND sign. And this stands for without authorization group. Down here, I have directly created in the creation of this table maintenance view a function group, or if you have already created one, then you can type it in. I have used a temporary package, and here I have just made up a simple one-step maintenance view with first ID of the overview screen. And here it is really important that you select no or user recording routine. Because if you would set to standard recording routine, then a transport is needed and you can't change the table directly in the production system without any transport. So this is really mandatory and important if you directly would like to make changes in the productive system. So keep this in mind. And then once you've made the changes, then if you want to, under technical settings, for me, I haven't selected this checkbox. You can also select the checkbox log data changes. And if you select this change, then the changes are logged in the SCU3 transaction code. So then you can analyze changes directly in the SCU3 transaction. Then the next step after we've set up the table, the maintenance view, then if you want to, you can create a transaction code for this maintenance view. Because often, as we've seen right here, I've called the transaction code SM30. Then after you've typed in your table and then you click on maintain, here you directly are able to maintain this table. But a lot of SAP users don't have authorizations and access to this transaction code. And for this, you can create a transaction code and give the authorizations to this transaction codes to the users. And this can be done in the transaction code SC93. And down here, for example, you can type in SAP ERP test for my case. Then I click, and then it is important that you enter a short text. So for example, maintenance view SAP ERP apt table, and then you have to select transaction with parameters, a parameter transaction. Then you have to continue. You have to call the transaction SM30. You have to skip the initial screen, inherit the GUI attributes, and down here you have to type in the DIMPRO fields. So in this case, it's view name, and here you have to type in the table. So it's SAP ERP up, and down here you have to specify whether you would like to call the SM30 in update or in display mode. In this case, I would like to call it in update mode, set it to X, but if you would like to call it in display mode, then you have to type in show and then set it to X. And I set it to update. Then I save this, then I would like to link it to my local package, then I have created it, and then if I would call this transaction code, I have already opened it, but now it tries to open it in edit mode. And if I, for example, open this in display mode, I would like to call it and then call it once again, SAP ERP app underscore test. I've directly opened it up in update mode. Then furthermore, if you want to, as mentioned, the users don't have authorization to this SM30 transaction code, then in the PFCG, you can create a new role and add the transaction code as we've created now in the SE93 transaction code in a specific role, and add this role in SU01 to a specific SAP user. And then the last step we have to do, as mentioned in the SOBJ transaction code, then you have to click on the maintain button. Yeah, keep in mind that this is cross-client. And then you have to search for your specific table. So you could use the position button, then type in your table, double click on this entry. It is currently locked. Because I have already opened it up, but I will close this for a second. And then you can go into the edit mode. And here it is really important that you select no transport, because you would directly make changes in the production system without any transport. So you have to select no transport, and you have to bypass the production settings, because normally in the transaction code SCC4, the SAP client is not ready for any changes. So normally in the production system, there would be no changes allowed. And here also no changes to cross-client to repository cross-client customizing objects. So those are the normal settings for a production client, and then you have to save the setting, and then you have to transport the settings into the production system, and then it's ready for not transport the changes into the production system, directly make changes in the production system. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have any questions regarding maintenance in tables directly in the production system, ask me in the comment sections. Subscribe to not miss any upcoming videos. There will be great videos in the future, and then see you in the next video.